everybody. Welcome to my kitchen today. I'm Dorina and I'm here to teach you a new dish. You know, it is winter and it's being funky weather everywhere, but sometimes you just need like one of those cool wintry dishes. It's like a nice fill your guts and make you warm. So we're making an Italian beef stew, but it's actually a very simple one. It's just mainly, it's beef. They call it a spezzatino. Spezzatina? I don't know. Anyway, I always forget whether it's male or female. Anyhow, we are making a beef stew with peas. Now, the thing is, we're going to start from the beginning, and so you're not going to see the end of this until I can post a photo of it later, because it's got to sit then and simmer for about an hour and a half to 2 hours. So you can use any stew meat you like. You know, I had a little roast. Look at this. Are these awesome? Look at this wooden lid. I'm going away from plastic, man. Little by little, it's all going. But I love these glass dishes. So I let it defrost because I had it in the freezer. And so I'm going to take this out and we're going to cut it up in little pieces. Set this over here. And we're going to cut this up. So I'm actually going to go ahead and start I've got my nice heavy duty pot here. It's my enameled cast iron Pampered Chef. I know the baby blue is really cute. They don't have that anymore. They do have a really pretty gray though, which I like also. So anyway, so I'm just going to go ahead and, you know, you can get the already cut meat. I don't know. Sometimes I just like cutting it myself. Look at, wow, I should make steaks out of that. Look how pretty that is. Now it does have a nice little chunk of fat at the bottom. And if you were making a pot roast, this is exactly how you would want it. You'd want that fat to sear on the bottom, really get some flavors. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut it off right now, because this is gonna simmer for a while and get nice and soft. Although I might just stick this piece in there for a little bit of flavor for a little while, who knows? That is something you can do. So I'm gonna cut it off piece by piece because it's easier. And so what we're gonna do with this is we are going to lightly flour it, and then we're gonna put it in hot oil in that nice hot pan that's gonna be hot here in a minute. And let that brown while we're chopping up our little veggies that are gonna go in here. Now we're not going a lot of vegetable. This one's not a big, you know, your typical stew. Most people think of stew and they think of, you know, meat and potatoes, carrots, and maybe some onions. That's your typical beef stew. All right, I'm gonna use my little garbage can there. But this one is, we're just gonna cut up one onion, one stalk of celery, and about a half an onion, real fine. So it's gonna become a little bit more of the sauce, you know, the broth and the sauce that goes in there. So, all right, we're just about, that's good. We're gonna leave a couple little pieces of fat on there, give it some flavor. So I'm not gonna take it all. Most, no, depends on how easy it comes off. If it comes off easy, take the whole thing. You know, you just play it by ear. No, there's no rules when it comes to this kind of stuff. You know, if you're just cooking at home, you know, you don't have to listen to the TV chefs. Well, except for me, although I'm not on TV yet. But anyway, wouldn't that be a dream? So we're just gonna go ahead and cut this into chunks. All right. So cut these in nice, I cut them in like, you know, little 1.5 inch chunks, whatever. If you like them different, you want them bigger, you want them smaller. You know, if you're gonna say put this over rice or with a little, some kind of, you know, pasta noodles underneath it, maybe you want it smaller to make it more almost like a sauce. But, you know, you can also do it this way. All right. So we've cut this all up. So what did that take us? 2 minutes. Okay. Yeah, I like to round things down. All right, so we're just gonna throw these in the flour here. Just dredge them. Make sure they're kind of, you know, don't stick together. Otherwise you end up with all those sides. And what we're gonna do is, this is getting nice and hot, so I'm gonna go ahead and put the oil in here. Get a nice little coating on the bottom, because I really want this to, and I'm gonna just turn it down a little bit. So let's see how much it sizzles. Ooh, sizzle. Nice little sizzle. Now, you can use tongs if you want, or you can be like me and use your hands. Just be careful when you're dropping it in. You don't splatter yourself. All right, I'm gonna try to keep it one hand. One meat hand here. This was the knife hand. Then I can wipe off the one hand and we're good to go. Okay. Some people will go ahead and put this in like a little, you know, sifter or something. You can get most of the flour off this way. It's okay. You know, no big deal. So this is, Pasquale's real excited for this. He loves, well, you know how it is with guys, red meat. Give me some red meat and I'm happy. So, and you know how many of those guys I raised, so, but you know, red meat, everything in moderation. Red meat, not green meat, definitely not green meat. Red meat, chicken, pork, beef, veal, whatever, rabbit. You know, it's a shame that here in this country, we never see anything almost, really truly. Most of your grocery stores have beef, chicken, and pork. Occasionally you can find a piece of duck, maybe. Occasionally you can find some lamb chops, but not everybody's got them. And if they do, it's like 2 pieces. Unless you're in New Jersey, I don't know where else, you know, you don't find rabbit. All right, so this is now this flour, that's why I try not to put too much, because that's to go. That's going bye-bye. We're going to just move those babies around. Oh, look at how pretty they are. And you know, it's just the meat in here. No salt, no pepper, no nothing. Meat and olive oil, but gosh, it smells so good. I'm just turning them over because they're already browning on the one side. And I did just turn this down to low. Now this is my highest, biggest burner. But it's the one closest to the camera, you know? So, all right. So that looks good. Good, good. All right. So now, I'm going to now let me tell you something about carrots. You know, I buy carrots, organic carrots by the 5-pound bag because I can. I mean, well, I used to have 6 kids. Well, I still have 6 kids. But I used to have 6 kids at home. But anyway, I buy them by the 5-pound bag because we make a lot of smoothies and everything. But anyway, besides the point, when you have good, fresh, organic vegetables, carrots, you don't have to peel them. Everybody always right away with the peeler. And you don't have to peel a carrot if it's nice and fresh. You know, there's no blemishes on it. And there's no, you know, none of the hairy stuff, the roots on it and everything. So, you know, I just wash them good. Even though they're organic, I wash them good. And leave the skin on because the skin has a lot of vitamins. And when it's cooked up in something like this, you don't even know. So I just cut like each piece here in like little pieces. So I'm just going to kind of dice these small because we don't want big chunks. This isn't a big chunk. The main thing that's going to be in this with the meat later is the peas. Now they're not real big either, you know, but you can see them. They'll be pretty. Okay, I'm just going to give these a couple little extra. That was actually a really big carrot. I don't know if I'm going to do the whole thing. Usually I do like one normal sized carrot. Of course I pulled out, what, a giant one. And you can cut them a couple extra times if you want. And then, because this is just a small little roast. It's just me and Pasquale here tonight. So I don't need to make a big one. I don't need to make a whole lot of anything. We'll probably have, well, I don't know. Knowing him, we probably won't have any left over. But if we do, we'll have a little bit as a side dish for lunch tomorrow. All right, I think that's actually good. This is probably the equivalent of one average size carrot, not a giant one like I had. So let me take this garbage out of here. And I'm going to go ahead and use my little cup. We're going to go ahead and throw the carrots in there. Well, no, no, not yet. Not yet. Those are still cooking, and we have some other stuff to do. So, piece of celery, same thing. Cut it down in some skinny pieces. You know, it's fun. There's something satisfying about chopping, just as long as you don't hit your finger. But as long as you're far enough away, you can actually look up like I am, because I'm holding it down at the other end. But it is always smart to watch where you're chopping. Just saying. That's all I need, right? Chop myself up. Where's my finger? Look, it's gone. No, I'm just kidding. All right. Sometimes I crack myself up. Okay, we put these in here with the carrots, and then we're just going to cut up half an onion. So peel this and chop. We're going to dice it up. And you know, it's been a while since I've diced an onion where I had to explain it, but you know, if you do the little slices around the onion instead of up and down straight, you don't have to, I don't think you have to do that center slice like a lot of people do. And I think that keeps it more steady because, wow, it's like pouring rain all of a sudden outside. It's like, what is that noise? It's the wind. Whoa, wintertime, perfect day for a stew. So anyway, we're just slicing this, slicing and dicing. Okay, and little pieces. So we are going to do this. Now, I turned it off for a second because I didn't want it to overdo while I was doing the veggies. It's, of course, still nice and hot in here. All right, so let me turn these babies over. Oh, that's really nice meat, actually. I think this was a little better than a stew. You know, I didn't even look. I had it in the freezer. I didn't even look and see what it was. I just saw a little roast. I said, hey, let's make a stew out of this tonight. All right. Oh, and there's some nice little, you know, crust on the bottom. That's going to make a nice flavored sauce there at the bottom. All right, so they're all turned over, a couple little pieces. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add just a little bit of wine and then a little bit of broth. So first we're going to add a little wine, because you want the wine, well, not that it really matters at this point, because it's going to cook long enough that the wine would cook out, but you kind of tend to go with the wine first. So I just put like probably half a cup of wine, and that's cooking up nicely there. And then we're going to, oh, that looks, oh, red meat and wine. What is it? Okay, we're going to add the veggies in now. Celery, carrots, and finely chopped onion. There we go. And we're just going to do this. Use our little, not use my scraper today. Oh, 2 more pieces. All right. Oh yeah, it's so pretty. Okay, now, you know, I don't usually, but I'm feeling the mood to throw in just like, I don't know, clove of garlic. I'm just gonna chop and smash. I'm not even gonna put these in little. I'm gonna put them big. That way if you wanna pull them out, you can, but it's just gonna add some more flavor. Come on, there we go. Add some flavor to the broth. I'm just gonna throw those in on the side there in the juice and let them flavor. And there'll be little chunks, you know, then I'll go kiss Pasquale and say, hi, honey. Like my garlic breath. All right, now I'm gonna put in probably the equivalent of about a cup and a half of, this is some broth. You can use vegetable broth, chicken broth, beef broth. It doesn't really matter. Some broth. Because you're, okay. So I put about, that was probably a cup and a half. And then, that's it. Oh, I've got my hand right on it. We're gonna put a little squeeze of tomato paste in, probably about a tablespoon's worth. You can buy tomato paste in a tube or a can, but the can, you're not gonna use it all up. These tubes are great because you can keep them in the refrigerator and they last a really long time. So, this one's pretty new still, but I've used it once or twice. So I'm just gonna go ahead and squeeze in, we'll put it on top of that. There we go, that's about a tablespoon and a squirt. Okay, just like, actually it's probably just a tablespoon. All right, so I'm just gonna put that in there and let that, basically just kind of made the broth a little bit richer. It doesn't even look red. Okay, so now we have that, and I'm gonna leave this on a medium heat for right now. Basically what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wait till it comes to a nice bubbly, I'm gonna leave it higher than it. I'm gonna let it come to a nice bubbly heat, then I'm gonna turn it down on low and let it sit for the next hour and a half. So then at the end, you get your, and I recommend frozen peas because they have more substance and they are frozen as soon as, so they're the freshest. If you don't have fresh peas, I should say. Always have fresh peas if you have them. But if not, frozen peas are closest to fresh. You know, take them out. You can even throw them in frozen or you can defrost them, whatever you want to do. Throw them in when this is all done in an hour and a half. Throw the peas in and let it cook for like 5 more minutes, just until they are, you know, warmed up through and get, you know, nice and sauced with everything in there. And then you're ready to serve. Tonight, because we had a really light lunch, I will probably make a little bit of rice on the side and just have a little, maybe just a little rice. I don't want to overdo the carbs at night. So we'll probably just have maybe, you know, half a cup to a cup at the most, cup for him, and like maybe half a cup's worth of 1 scoop of rice for me underneath this. Or you can just have this plain as, you know, your main course and then have some other vegetables on the side. This is nice with a nice salad or something that's nice and crisp and fresh like that. Maybe some green beans. Although, I mean, you've got the peas in here, but the peas are starchy. So you got to remember that when you have, you know, beef and potatoes or beef and peas, you know, it's still a starchy-ish vegetable, even though it is green. So you're kind of getting a little bit of both. So we will probably have a salad because I have some really nice romaine lettuce that I was lucky enough to find because lately, man, I've been having a hard time finding pretty lettuce. So anyway, so that's it. It's a very simple, okay, wait a minute, not done yet. Okay, so right now it's coming to a nice boil. So I'm gonna turn this to low. Actually, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it on my smaller burner and turn it to medium on the smaller burner. I'm gonna put the lid on it. We're gonna push it. Oh, that's too hot. There you go. On the small burner there, it's gonna stay on low for the next, like I said, hour and a half and simmer nice and just get all flavored in the meat. And we'll add the peas and I will show you a photo of it later on this evening when I have finished the dish and we have put it all together. Now, I will tell you this, keep an eye on it every once in a while. Go take a peek, give it a little stir. If the juice, too much of the juice boils out, then, you know, that's why I'm keeping the broth and the wine here. Well, the wine's for me to drink. I'm just kidding. Keep the broth here. And you can always add a little more liquid to it. If you feel like it's too dense, you could add a little teeny bit of water if you prefer. But that's it. Just give it a little stir once in a while and keep an eye on it. But I'll tell you what. That smells so good already. Now, you'll notice I did not put any salt and pepper in it yet. I will wait till it's done because it's gonna cook down. If I put too much salt in now, then what I'm gonna end up doing is trying to add more water to it. Then it's gonna be not yummy and thick and gooey and all that. So it's gonna, you know, it would be too watery. So maybe halfway through, you might wanna put a pinch in and then just take a little, you know, taste of the end of the stick and the spoon or something. But don't overdo it, and then you salt it more at the end. Actually, you know, pepper I don't mind doing, because pepper, I love pepper. There we go. We'll just let it, yummy, yummy in my tummy. Okay, so I guess that's it. Just, you know, pay attention, enjoy, and I hope you try it and enjoy it. It's very simple and very yummy. So, you know, alongside of it, you can cook your rice, and then when it's all done, it's done. And that's it. Okay, so buon appetito. Make sure you please subscribe to my YouTube channel, with my Facebook page, which you're watching me on now, my Instagram. Please follow, like, and follow everything. And also, don't forget, if you're interested in going to Italy, I am got 4 or 5 groups going this year, spring, summer, and fall. So if you're interested, send me a message right away or email me at, whoops, good thing I finished the pepper and just flipped the cup upside down. Boop. Anyway, where was I? You can email me at dorinaskitchen@gmail.com. and tell me, yeah, I want to go to Italy with you, and you'll be on the list. So have a great evening, and I will see you soon. Ciao.